Imagine waking into a world where fresh does not mean the scent of soap, but the sharp perfume of crushed rosemary and lavender, carefully rubbed into clothing to disguise the smell of bodies that have not known a true bath in months. It is the year 1348. The Black Death is moving across England like an invisible tide. Fear rides the wind, and something as simple as a hot bath is no longer considered comfort. It is considered dangerous. In medieval England, cleanliness is not understood the way we know it today. Water, especially hot water, is treated with suspicion. Physicians warn that heat opens the pores, and open pores are believed to invite in poisonous air, the dreaded miasma thought to carry plague. To them, the body is a fortress, and anything that opens its gates is a risk. So instead of stepping into a steaming bath, the average person begins the day standing beside a wooden basin, a splash of cold water, a strip of coarse linen. Face and hands are wiped, nothing more. For most people in London, York, or the scattered villages beyond, this brief ritual is the only contact with water they will have that day. Floors are layered with rushes, reeds, and grasses that might remain unchanged for months, trapping crumbs, spilled ale, and worse beneath their dry surface. The air indoors is thick, heavy with smoke from hearth fires and the musk of unwashed wool. And yet, people do care about being clean. Among the wealthy, hygiene becomes a matter of fabric rather than water. Fine white linen undergarments are believed to purify the body. The theory is simple. Linen draws impurities out through the skin. As sweat soaks into the cloth, it is thought to carry illness and toxins away with it. A nobleman may change his linen shirt several times a day. The brightness of its cuffs becomes a quiet display of status, proof that he can afford cleanliness without ever touching bath water. Soap exists, but it is harsh and uncommon. Full immersion bathing does happen, but rarely and increasingly less after waves of plague sweep through Europe. Dental care is equally unforgiving. There are no toothbrushes. Instead, teeth are rubbed with rough cloth dipped in mixtures of salt, ground herbs, even crushed bone. It scrapes more than it polishes. If decay sets in, pain is blamed on a mythical tooth worm burrowing inside. Relief comes not from a dentist, but from a barber surgeon. Iron tools, no anesthesia. Extraction is swift and brutal. A missing tooth is common. A full set is rare. Perfume becomes armor. Rosewater, musk, imported spices for those who can afford them. Fragrance does not remove odor, it battles it. But if personal hygiene is uncomfortable, waste management is overwhelming. In castles, the toilet is called a garderobe, a small stone seat with a hole that drops straight down the outer wall into a pit or moat below. There is no flushing mechanism. Gravity does all the work. The smell can be powerful, especially in summer. Yet even here, medieval practicality appears. Noble robes are sometimes stored in these chambers because ammonia fumes from waste help kill fleas and moths. The toilet doubles as a fumigation room. Beyond castle walls, conditions grow harsher. In crowded cities like London, most households rely on buckets or shared latrines. Waste is dumped into cesspits, or worse, into open streets and gutters. The city struggles to contain what it produces. Enter the gong farmers. They work at night by law to spare others the sight. Their task is to climb into cesspits and shovel out human waste by hand. The job is dangerous. Toxic gases collect in enclosed pits and can suffocate a man in minutes. It is filthy, lethal labor, yet essential to prevent cities from drowning in their own refuse. Animals roam freely through the streets. Pigs consume scraps tossed from windows, acting as living waste disposals, but they leave behind their own mess, layering the cobblestones in mud and manure. Tanneries add to the assault on the senses. Leather is cured in vats using urine and animal waste. The smell of a medieval city is not subtle. Travelers describe it as something you feel before you fully register it, a dense wall of odor made from smoke, rot, animals, and humanity itself. And then there is the question modern minds always ask. Without toilet paper, what did people use? The answer depends on wealth and circumstance. The wealthy may use scraps of wool or linen, but most rely on nature, handfuls of straw, hay, moss, or broad leaves, practical, available, and often uncomfortable. Centuries earlier, Romans had used a sponge on a stick soaked in vinegar in communal latrines. That method has long faded from use in medieval England. Sanitation is imperfect. Hand-washing is inconsistent. Parasites are common. Intestinal worms affect much of the population, quietly draining nutrients from bodies already working hard for limited food. And yet, this is not a story of ignorance or laziness. It is a story of limitation. People in 1348 do not understand bacteria. They do not see microbes. They operate within the medical knowledge available to them. They use vinegar, alcohol, and herbs for cleansing. They adapt. They survive. Their immune systems are shaped by constant exposure. Their resilience is remarkable. To live in the Middle Ages is to wage a daily battle, not only against hunger, war, and plague, but against the unseen forces within and around the body. When we look back at medieval England, we should not see only filth. We should see endurance. Civilization carved from uncertainty. Dignity maintained without modern plumbing. A world without showers, without toilet paper, without germ theory. And yet a world that persisted. Because survival, not comfort, was the true measure of cleanliness. In 1348, to stay alive was the greatest luxury of all.